gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Two persons of interest are in custody following the shooting of a man near Lexington Market. Just before 2:30 this afternoon, officers found the victim shot in the face about a block away from the food hall. Officers saw the two people running away near Lexington and Howard Street.
Sheesh. And we all know these two people were, in fact, two super gremlins on demon time. But imagine you live in a city where you're walking down the street and you notice somebody laying out on the ground who's shot in the face. This is what every black community, Democrat-led black community in America is dealing with. Okay? That's just the facts. Now it's gotten to the point where it's uncontrollable. Undeniable. Even you have the video that I dropped yesterday in Memphis. You have black women admitting that there is a crime problem. Now, they're still not coming around to saying who's doing it or who done it, but I mean, it's getting bad. And this is Baltimore. This is, home of the Ravens. And, they ended up losing in that championship game, and they're going home, and Kansas City Chiefs are advancing because this city doesn't deserve a title. Okay? They have to get their things together before they're going to be able to contend for it. And I'm not just talking about football. I'm talking about the city in general, because these super gremlins are on demon time.
The man who was shot is recovering in the hospital. He is expected to survive. Anyone with information about what happened should contact Baltimore police.
With breaking news, 4 people shot, 3 dead in Northwest Baltimore. Let's get right to WMER2 News.
Damn.
Jack Watson, live for us just off of Reisterstown Road. Jack, what do you know about what happened tonight?
4 people shot, 3 dead. What is that? For my criminal justice majors or FBI personnel in the chat, what is that? You got it. That's a mass shooting. 4 people shot is 4 or more people shot is what the FBI defines as a mass shooting. So we have a mass shooting, and I've said this before, and it doesn't bring me joy to say this, but unfortunately, black men are the face of mass shootings in America. And we're given a different narrative, right? We're supposed to believe that, and I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but we're supposed to believe that the majority of these mass shootings are, alt-right white supremacists, which we've covered on this channel that it has happened, and we are not denying that, okay? But the reality is these mass shootings are going on every single day in the community, and they're not getting any coverage. They're not getting any type of, notoriety or focus from the mainstream media. And that's why guys like me with alternative platforms who get shadow banned, demonetized, and picked on by the social media oligarchs exist in general. I mean, if the mainstream media were doing their job, I wouldn't have to do these videos. Okay, we see what's actually going on. Now we can come to a solution. But I have to be the acknowledger, all right? I'm pulling the veil of sorts. And sometimes it does get taxing because it just happens over and over again in every different city, and I can't cover it all. But this is what the community has become. And it's unfortunate because we can do better.
Yeah, Kelly, unfortunately, we're on the scene of the first major shooting in Baltimore City in 2024. I want to give you a better look at the scene.
And you heard what he said, the first major shooting. Why didn't he call it a mass shooting? Why didn't he call it a mass shooting? These people are complicit.
Here, we're on Fairlawn Avenue. It's a small street just off Reisterstown Road in northwest Baltimore. So here's what we know so far, according to the police commissioner. This happened just after 8 tonight. 3 victims died in this shooting. Another may have walked into a local hospital. That victim's injuries will not threaten his life. Police believe the incident started inside a business, then spilled over outside. All 4 of the victims are adult men.
So the dispute happened inside a business, guys. I mean, and you're wondering why businesses are leaving our cities. Guys, it's right here in our faces. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Police say they found 1 victim inside, 2 outside in the street. They don't know whether there was a victim inside a car back there, but they're looking into it all at this hour. This is near several auto shops you can see around here. It is also just a few blocks away from a Northwest District police station. We're about half a mile away from Northern Parkway as well. Commissioner Richard Worley tonight on the scene. Take a listen.
Obviously, we don't have anywhere near the amount of facts that we need. So we do know that there were at least 1 gun on the scene, possibly 2 or 3. We are not sure with any of that yet. We have to look at the ballistic. It started inside. We're not even 100% sure it started inside because we have casings both inside and outside the business.
So we're back live here in Northwest Baltimore. You're looking at the scene of this 3 fatality, 1 other victim shooting. I want to stress this is very early in the police investigation. We don't know anything about the victims, whether they knew each other, what brought them here, any of the circumstances. All of what we told you tonight is preliminary. But once we find out more, we'll, of course, update you here on Channel 2 and on WMAR2News.com. For now, we are live in Northwest Baltimore. Jack Watson, WMAR2 News.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Back to that breaking news we brought you at the top of this newscast. Police confirming tonight 3 men are dead and 1 is hospitalized after a shooting that started at a business in Northwest Baltimore. We know this happened on Fairlawn.
I mean, guys, we have black businesses that are trying to operate here, but they can't because they continue to get shot up. What's not clicking for you guys? When it comes to the economic disparities, this is something that we need to look inwardly for, because we are creating the food deserts, the business deserts, the grocery store deserts, all of these deserts. We're creating them because people want to desert the cities that we are occupying. And it's not because of racism, it's because people want to be safe, man. That's the reality. And we just have to get to the point where we're acknowledging, like I said, group accountability. Super important. Although I didn't particularly participate, I, will hold some type of accountability, and my rectification for that accountability is maybe to spread awareness, or maybe to talk to the closest hood ninja that I know and be like, hey, bro, don't pop out tonight. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all throwing that party, a large gathering in the community? Hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Subdue that real quick. Turn that down. I know everybody want to turn their click up, dog, right? Because of the new Quavo and Future song, but hey, turn it down some. Because we can't afford to keep doing this large gatherings, op culture, crash out culture. We can't afford to keep doing this if we're really serious about, advancing ourselves as a people. We've come a long way from civil rights leadership and all that kind of stuff. And these opportunities that we're presented now, it looks like we're more focused on squandering them than actually taking advantage of just the vast life that we are able to live in this country, and the abundance that we are able to experience. All of these ninjas who are shooting up and they're blaming things on poverty, they have cell phones, they have Jordans, they have designer clothes, they got everything they could ever ask, they got everything that they could ever need, and it's taken for granted.
Avenue just off of West Belvedere Avenue. WJZ takes you live to that scene right now. Christina Mendez walks us through how police say this all unfolded tonight. Christina, good evening.
Rick, good evening. First, I want to acknowledge that there were several loved ones here at the scene. They were visibly crying, shaking on the ground, just in disbelief that this happened. Now let's walk through what we have confirmed from police so far. This is a live look at the scene, and you can see still very active behind us. Police Commissioner Worley says the 3 men who died here had multiple gunshot wounds. A 4th man who was shot went to a hospital for help. Staff there relayed to police that he has non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators believe this started inside one of the businesses in this strip, then spilled out onto the street. 1 person was found inside, 2 others outside, and the commissioner confirms shell casings were found in both of those locations. While investigators are still working through this crime scene tonight, the commissioner says the use of guns in this city is becoming more than frustrating.
I said the other day that I don't get frustrated, but I think the gun situation here in this city is frustrating. But just the amount of guns.
I mean, talking about the guns instead of the super gremlins who are doing these things, like I said, you can own a firearm and not commit these types of crimes. It's crazy that even the police will not address this. They keep blaming the guns. Let's just get the guns off the street. Get the guns off the street. Don't you understand that these people are in illegal possession of these weapons? I don't get where the disconnect. They're going to do something illegal because they're criminals, and they will break the law in order to do what they want to do. And if that's shooting each other up, then they're going to do that. And they're going to break the law to do that. So whether you outlaw guns, you could outlaw guns in the world, and there will be people who create guns on the black market and people who get access to these guns, and it'll be a lot easier than going to your local gun shop and having to do a background check. I'll tell you that much. So that to me is an excuse by the police. And, you know, although we want to, you know, honor these guys and say, hey, man, thank you for your service, y'all need to start being real with the people and say, hey, man, in the community, these guys, the way they're being raised, their mentality, their attitude toward life in general is toxic. And something needs to be done about it. Point blank. Or they're just going to have to get locked up.
On the street, I've never seen so many, and I don't know what this incident occurred over, but even all through the year of 2023, a lot of incidents that would have not become shootings in the past became shootings because someone had a gun.
And back out here live at the scene, you're taking a look at a silver sedan in the center of this investigation. You can see now there is a piece of crime scene evidence marker on the back hood. We were told by the commissioner that they are looking into the possibility that one of the victims may have been in the car at the time. They're also looking over it inside and out. As for what we know about this investigation and then help needed from the community, the commissioner right now is asking anyone to come forward about information they may have about how exactly this all played out here. You can do so anonymously through Metro Crime Stoppers as well. The men who died tonight, we do not know their identities at this point, but of course, once we do receive them, we'll make sure to let you know. I'm reporting live tonight from Northwest Baltimore. I'm Christina Mendez for WJZ.
And tonight in D.C., some of our Hill East neighbors say they are just fed up with the violence in their area. So listen to this surveillance video and you will certainly understand why.
Yeah.
That is a shooting that happened yesterday on 16th Street in Southeast near Independence Avenue.
Sounds like a war zone. Sounds like Iraq. Or Jordan. Didn't we just come under fire in Jordan? I mean, this is getting unbearable. And people shouldn't have to live through this. They really shouldn't. It's sad. But these super gremlins are continuing to wreak havoc in the streets.
Thankfully, police say no one was injured, but neighbors tell our Rafael Sanchez Cruz these incidents are becoming all too common, and some are even considering moving out of D.C. It's a story you will only see right here on WUSA 9.
I mean, it sounds like a war zone, right? Like this is like automatic gunfire going off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Surveillance video captured the sound of a Saturday afternoon shootout on 16th Street Southeast near Independence Avenue. A mother can be heard telling her daughter who was playing outside to get inside the house.
Yesterday we heard the shots, which unfortunately is becoming more and more common on this part of town.
So it's getting to the white side of town, and they're feeling it. They're feeling it. It's wild.
Exactly a week prior, sounds of another shootout were captured by Adam Trister's surveillance system. Some neighbors telling me they avoid 16th Street altogether over fears they might be caught in the crossfire.
And it feels that the police are in a situation where they're, kind of unable to do their jobs appropriately.
Yeah, that's true. The police have been handcuffed and restricted. But also, the voters voted to defund them. So we're still, revitalize or reimagine the criminal justice system. So we're still wreaking, the consequences of what occurred in 2020.
Trister says he's lived in the district for 20 years, 13 of those here in this Hill East neighborhood. But in the last 20 months, he says he's seen what he calls a seismic shift in the brazen crime and violence. His biggest concern, his 2 children.
We're being pushed out of our home because of by the leadership in the city. I don't want to leave.
Some neighbors telling WUSA 9 off camera they're moving out of the district. Others are watching closely Councilmember Brooke Pinto's crime bill with over 100 initiatives.
This is an opportunity and our opportunity for the council to make an important step and to say that we are moving our city forward.
I think that there needs to be, kind of significant steps taken, and the steps that I think they're articulating, at least to me, feel like baby steps, and I think we're beyond that.
What can be done to make these neighbors feel safe?
They're telling me they want a safety meeting involving the police and, of course, their Ward 7 council member, Vincent Gray.
Well, they're going to have to talk to the DAs and prosecutors, too, because those are the ones who are letting these super gremlins on demon time back out into the streets.
On Capitol Hill, Rafael Sanchez Cruz, WUSA 9.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.